What is going on, guys? Zerps here. And in today's video, what we're going to do is a video response to a user by the name of Melissa Fabuloso or something. Her first name's Melissa. I forgot her last name. But this video was revealed to me by one of the people commenting on my last videos by the name of Zoro Baggins. He showed me this video, asked me to make a video response, and I checked out the video and I saw it. I'm like, this was God sent. I was like, I have to do this one. So thank you to Zoro Baggins for showing me this video, because this video is hilarious. So without further ado, let's jump into this. So Melissa decided to make a video about how feminist men need to do better. Shocker, right? You know, even when you're a feminist man, you're still not good enough for the feminists. So let's go.
So I've been thinking a lot about dudes lately.
Didn't really see that one coming.
And not in a fun way.
Yeah, in the non-fun way. The non-fun way where the patriarchy exists and women are oppressed.
Not in a man-hating way either.
Oh, okay, alright, well, let's see where this goes then.
Just, you know, thinking.
Which is a skill not very many feminists have, so kudos to you.
About male allies in particular.
See, this is one thing that I absolutely hate about feminism. Like, when you're a male feminist, you're not even considered a feminist, you're considered an ally. I mean, granted, being a male feminist is ridiculously stupid anyway, but at least acknowledge the people in your movement. Like, you know how condescending that is to someone? You know, you're an ally, but you're not actually a feminist, you know, because feminism, right? Talking about you. Marissa, shut up.
Male feminists, if you will. And I feel like I got a lot to say. Let's start here. I love me some allies.
Wait, are they feminists or are they allies?
You do work that I can't do.
And while she's saying that, we all know what she means is, but I'm not going to have sex with you.
You support me in my missions.
But I'm not going to have sex with you.
You treat me with dignity and respect.
But I'm still not going to have sex with you.
You're not scum.
But I'm still not going to have sex with you.
And that's awesome. But some of you aren't doing so great.
Of course not, because it's never enough. It's never enough, is it?
Some of you call yourselves feminists and then do some really sexist, misogynist things.
But they're allies, remember? They're not actually feminists. I mean, that's what you said. You called them allies like less than 30 seconds ago. So, can you really be surprised?
Some of you talk a really good talk, but when it comes to applying feminist values to your everyday lives, you really don't walk the walk too well.
That may have something to do with the fact that they're allies and they aren't actually feminists. Remember? That's what you said earlier in your video. You called them allies.
And I'm just confused.
I'm not gonna lie, me too.
So, I wanted to give you a few reminders, just a few, on how to be a good ally.
See? Do you see what I'm getting now, viewer? This is what I'm talking about. Are they actually feminists or are they allies?
So, dear feminist men, you still have social power in every interaction you have in a day. Yes, even with fellow feminists. Just because I'm a feminist and you're a feminist doesn't mean that when we have a conversation, magically socialization goes out the window.
I'm not gonna bullshit anybody. I don't know what she's talking about. So maybe we'll have to keep listening just a little bit to, you know, clear up the confusion. Because what I'm gathering here kind of just sounds like complaining about the fact that men are men, but they're supposed to be feminists.
Think about that actively, please. You have a duty to amplify the voices of women.
Exactly. That doesn't mean you share your own opinion. Remember, we are a hive mind. We are all connected as one.
That means you should share our work. It means you should reference our resources. It means that if you get called to be on a panel, you need to ask whether or not there's a woman on that panel too.
Well, fuck. Men can't do anything without women, can they?
Yeah, even if the panel is on masculinity.
Wait. Wait, what? You mean to tell me that there has to be at least one woman on a panel about masculinity as if she's gonna have any idea on what the bloody hell she's talking about?
Because just like you can talk about feminism, we can talk about manhood.
No, you can't, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. See, even when I talk about femininity, I don't talk about what it is to be a woman. I really talk about what men are attracted to about women. You know, it is the aspects of being feminine that attract men to them. I don't really know what it's like to be a woman, even though I am feminine in some regards. I mean, I'm not a woman, I'm a man. So even when I talk about it, I still talk about it from a point of view of what I've seen. It's not necessarily the gospel. It's not necessarily the truth. It's just what I've seen. That's what I do. I just talk about what I have seen within the women in my house, the women I've been friends with, the women I talk to, my ex-girlfriend. Just from what I've seen. But I don't ever talk about what it means to be a woman or how women can be better women. I just talk about self-respect and, you know, being nice and being kind, and I talk about what I find attractive in them, you know. So unless you're only talking about what you find attractive and what you don't find attractive, you can't talk about what it means to be a man, because you're not a man.
We're well versed in manhood.
No, you probably aren't, because you're a feminist. And the only idea you have about masculinity is this toxic BS that Lacey Green talks about. I've already done a video response to Lacey Green about that. You guys should go check that out.
Speaking of masculinity, could you not make everything about you?
Seriously? In the first couple of minutes of your video, you just said that men can't even get on a panel about masculinity without having a woman around. It doesn't sound like the men are the ones making it all about themselves. Sounds like the complete opposite to me.
Part of breaking down patriarchal norms involves deconstructing hegemonic masculinity.
I have no idea what that means. She threw me for a loop there.
Talking about how patriarchy stifles men and how to strive toward a more positive masculinity is important and necessary work.
Remember, you can't do it unless a woman is around.
Keep doing it. But if the bulk of your feminist work is putting the focus on men,
The movement's called feminism, it's in the name.
you're kind of missing the point.
I'll leave the horse's mouth for you guys. The point of feminism is about empowering women. So now, if anyone ever says that feminism is sexist, you should just point her to this video, because she does a fantastic job of proving that point, doesn't she?
Do both. Trans guys exist.
So?
I've seen so many lists coming out lately, like, you know, the top 10 feminist dudes you want to follow on Twitter, or like 5 feminist dudes doing great work.
And they don't have women around. They're not allowed to do stuff like that.
Which is cool, but then it turns out they're all cisgender.
So what? Aren't they echoing your dribble anyway? Isn't that a good thing? What difference does it make if they like women or if they think they're men? I don't. Why does that bother you?
If you're going to compile or be featured in a list of kick-ass feminist men, make sure trans guys are included.
Why? What difference would it make? You guys would all be saying the same thing anyway. And just to clarify, what is a trans guy anyway? Is a trans man a man that says he's a woman in a man's body, or is it a woman who says she's a man in a woman's body? I don't know. I don't understand the whole trans thing. I'm still confused about that aspect. One thing I'm even more confused about is what difference does it make? You will all be saying the same BS anyway. It just sounds like an echo chamber, I guess, with one slightly deeper voice, apparently.
And if you don't have any trusted go-tos already, sounds like you've got homework.
Remember, guys, you're not allowed to talk about women unless there's a woman around. And we all know how well that's going to turn out, don't we?
Let's talk about sex.
And how you're not getting any.
Remember how I was saying that you can't just shut off your socialization?
Yeah, I remember. It's not like it didn't happen 5 minutes ago.
That also applies in sex.
How?
Like, I have actually seen so-called feminist guys get women to sleep with them just by virtue of being feminist guys.
But doesn't that reveal the nature of the feminist women more than it does the nature of the feminist men? I mean, if it was that easy to go, hey, I'm a feminist. Oh, there you go. If it was that easy, doesn't that reveal more of the woman than it does the man? I mean, shouldn't you be questioning the woman, you know, being that easy, instead of the man saying, hey, I'm a feminist? I mean, if it's not one thing, it's going to be another. Next, if he's not, I'm a feminist, isn't going to work. Probably it'll be, I have money, or shoes, or something. I mean, if they're that shallow, I imagine it can't be that difficult to sleep with them regardless.
That's fucked up.
For the women, yeah.
Don't use feminism to get laid. That's not what it's here for. You could argue that feminism is supposed to be sexually liberating, but yeah, for women.
Again, the nature of feminism has been revealed to all in this 6-minute video that this woman has made. Really? I mean, I don't know. Again, if these women are sleeping with these guys because they're feminists too, I guess they are pretty sexually liberated. Although very shallow and vapid as well, but I mean,
you already get to have promiscuous sex. You already get to experience sexual pleasure. You already have all of mainstream sexuality culture focused on you.
All three of those statements were a crock of BS. I guess to go on the first one, men already get to have promiscuous sex, and if you want women to also have promiscuous sex, again, men sleeping with women by virtue of them both being feminists is the same way as men sleeping with women because one has money and women are attracted to that. I don't think, to get upset with that is to get upset with the whole dating game itself. Some women are shallow. Some men are shallow. That's people in general. Men already get to experience promiscuous sex. So do women. It's called being a prostitute. You have male prostitutes too. What was this? I think the last statement she made was we already have all of mainstream consciousness focused on us. Well, I mean, somewhat. I mean, imagine like me. I'm a virgin. Never had sex before. I get made fun. I used to get made fun of that back in high school, But when people began to notice that being a virgin doesn't bother me all too much, they kind of stopped. So, I mean, come on. Like, really, like, not having sex for a man is more detrimental than actually having sex. That's why it's acceptable. But I mean, they still have a little self-esteem if, in order to feel better about themselves, they have to go have sex with some shallow, vapid woman.
Don't use feminism as an excuse to use people.
Earlier in your video, you said that an ally's point was to echo the voices of feminists. And then later, you say, don't use feminism as an excuse to use people.
Speaking of feminist guys and sex.
Now you still will not be getting any.
Look, I'm really glad that you enjoy going down on women.
Well, this letter took a turn pretty freaking fast now, didn't it?
Right on. But it's kind of weird when you bring it up all the time.
Yeah, kind of like what you're doing right now.
Like, I love eating pussy. Me too. What do you want, a cookie?
They're already getting the cookie.
And I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to show that you're not like one of those guys who thinks that cunnilingus is gross or that vulvas are ugly. But you're upholding that same construct that dudes aren't supposed to like going down when you profess your supposedly rare love of it.
And this, my viewer, this is how I know she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Let me guys tell you a quick story. Back when I was in high school and I played lacrosse, I remember we were practicing down by the park. I'm not sure how we got onto this, but I've had several conversations with lots of people in the course of my lifetime about this. I have told people that I do not like oral sex. I'm not a fan of oral sex. I don't want a woman to suck my penis. I don't want to lick a girl's vagina. Told them, straight up. They flipped, spit. They didn't know how to take it. The guys on my lacrosse team like, oh! He's like, oh! Like literally, they over-exaggerated, just like what I was literally reenacting the over-exaggeration they did. Literally. I had a girl come up to me once and tell me straight up, she said, all your relationships are going to fail because you don't like oral sex. Now, it turned out she was right. One of my relationships did fail, but it didn't have anything to do with oral sex. The point that I'm making with those stories is that I was an outlier for not liking oral sex. I was an oddball for not liking oral sex. You don't know what you're talking about if you think that these male feminists are trying to deconstruct this idea that men don't like oral sex.
Just do it.
Like a Nike commercial.
We can tell whether you like it or not. Will you tell your friends to shut the fuck up?
Well, wouldn't that depend on what they're doing?
Like, I know that attempted allyship is exhausting.
Oh my gosh. Are they feminists or are they allies?
My cousins are always posting racist shit on Facebook, and I'm like, guys, I don't feel like getting into this right now. But you know what else is exhausting that people don't feel like getting into all the time? Oppression.
You don't choose to get into oppression.
So do the right thing and say something.
Yeah, you kill that buzz. Kill that buzz like a good feminist ally.
Hey dude, maybe when you talk about your girlfriend, you shouldn't sexually objectify her.
Oh goodness. See? This is again, this is why you cannot talk about what it means to be a man. You cannot talk about manhood, okay? First of all, do you know how ridiculous that would sound to say that to somebody who has a girlfriend that is attractive? Do you know that is a ridiculous thing to say to someone? Regardless, that's the first thing. Second thing, men don't sit around with each other talking about how attractive their girlfriends are. In fact, most of the time, when men talk about their girlfriends, they're usually talking about what pisses them off about said girlfriend. You wanna know how I know? Cause that's what I did. I won't even BS one. When I talk to my friends about my girlfriend, I was not talking about how attractive she was. You can see that. I was talking about all the stuff that she did that pissed me off. So you don't know what you're talking about. That doesn't happen that doesn't happen at all. And then, wow. Freaking hell. Wow.
Or, Dad, I understand that you hold this belief that women are fiscally irresponsible to be true, but I actually know a lot of women who are good with money.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Go ahead and tell your dad that. I'm not even going to respond to that one. That was just stupid. You don't tell your father. Your father has lived longer than you have. I'm pretty sure he understands the reality of the world. Oh, whatever. Let's move on.
It doesn't take much. You don't have to apologize for your gender. In fact, don't. That's unnecessary. I'm not mad at your gender. I'm mad at that guy for doing something effed up. I'm mad at society for letting men get away with violence. I'm not angry at men by virtue of their being men.
Could have fooled me.
And if I were, and I wanted an apology, it would have to be better than the on the behalf of kind.
See? This is what I'm talking about. It is just never enough, is it? Even when you apologize on behalf of your entire sex, it's just not enough for these feminists. It's just not. You're gonna have to write your name in blood and sacrifice your firstborn son in order to appease the feminists, apparently, because your half-hearted sorry just doesn't cut it.
Women are people.
What? Really? What? Wow. Yeah, well, fuck. I didn't know that, huh? Wow, huh? Whoa. Women are people. I had no idea. I didn't know, huh? But thank you, Melissa, for telling me that, because I had no idea women were people. I didn't. I'm wow. Just wow. You learn something new every day, right, guys? Wow. Women are people. That is one of the most profound statements ever said, isn't it? That's the secret of the universe. That's what we all need to know. That's what's in the book, The Secret. The very first page is, women are people too. And then after that, it's just the same sentence repeated. That's the secret to the universe. When you're sitting on a starry night and you're looking into the sky and you're like, wow, where does all this come from? The answer is, women are people.
You don't have to be scared of us. I always get men who are trying to work in solidarity with me say stuff like, I really, really, really hope you don't find this offensive, but I think you're pretty. Dude, on the list of my things to worry about, you finding me attractive and paying me a compliment really isn't on it.
Unless you're sexually objectifying me, then it's on my list. You've got to be kidding me with this. Listen, lady, the reason why these male feminists, allies, have to do that is because of what you just said earlier in this video. You just told these male feminists to tell their friends to stop sexually objectifying their girlfriends. And then you're surprised when they feel like they have to apologize when they give you a compliment? This is what feminism has wrought, and you're too blind to see that.
Or they'll give some weird kind of disclaimer like, trigger warning, I'm a man.
Pretty sure they're mocking Tumblr.
Okay, that's okay. Don't overthink it. When you're overly cautious, you're treating us like we're fragile or on the verge of exploding, which is actually really sexist.
Band Bossy. Like a girl. Sorry, not sorry. Do any of those ad campaigns ring a bell? Those ad campaigns where you say you shouldn't call girls bossy because you hurt their feelings? The ad campaign that says you shouldn't say like a girl as an insult because you hurt their feelings? And you're really shocked and surprised when men have to feel like they have to coddle you. You're really surprised when men have to apologize for being men, when you have ad campaigns like that. When Nash Greer makes a video about what he finds attractive in girls, and all these white knights say you're hurting feelings, you're really shocked at that. Because if you are, well then, you need a new prescription on your glasses, because you're a little blind to the reality of the world around us.
Find a balance. Just be respectful. And lastly, the most important reminder to feminist men. Thank you for doing what you're doing.
But I still won't be having sex with you. Well, that's pretty much the end of her video, and subsequently, the end of mine. I only cut off the last minute because all she was doing was saying thank you and told the people to suggest what they think male feminists should also do to be better. But considering the fact that she disabled the comments, I don't think anyone will be able to do that. Of course, links to her video in the description box below if you want to check out the last minute. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Subscribe button should be somewhere in this general area. Comment in the comment box below, and as always, have a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.